Okay, we'll get started, everyone. Thanks for joining us today as we introduce our new bill, H.R. 9649, the UNRWA Emergency Funding Restoration Act. We'll have a few comments from our colleagues on this legislation, Congresswoman Jayapal, Congresswoman Schakowsky, a few words from Congresswoman Omar and Rashida Tlaib, the Congresswoman from Detroit. Then we'll hear from some of our organizational partners who have worked with us for several months to create a very constructive bill that restores funding to UNRWA and is supported by over 100 human rights organizations. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it has over 65 original co-sponsors. Yes, indeed. Then, as time permits, we'll have a few questions from the press. I'm going to start with some very disturbing numbers. 1 million. 1 million. That's the number of estimated Gazans who will not have enough food this month. 700,000. That's the number of women and girls in Gaza who do not have access to menstrual products or even running water and toilet paper. 100,000. That is the number of Palestinians who have been seriously injured without access to functioning hospitals. 41,000. That's the number of Palestinians killed by Israel since October 7th. And that number doesn't include those poor souls unaccounted for underneath the rubble. Since October 7th, thousands of Palestinian children have had one or both legs amputated without anesthesia, and I want to reiterate, without anesthesia. These conditions, my friends, are absolutely deplorable. These conditions, my friends, are inhumane. But the numbers don't tell the whole story of the scale and devastation of this man-made crisis. I urge everyone to take a moment to think about someone you love. Think about your favorite person. And then I want you to realize this: thousands of people in Gaza have lost their favorite person. And it's safe to say that every single person has witnessed or experienced unimaginable terror. They are grieving while wondering where their next meal is. They are grieving while suffering common, treatable illnesses. We can't erase their grief, this is true, but we can prevent damage and loss. Right now, the U.S. is withholding badly needed life-saving funding to UNRWA. This creates a void no other organization is able to fill. This must end today. It's why we introduced the UNRWA Funding Emergency Restoration Act of 2024 to restore funding and to restore hope. Congress needs to pass this bill now before this session ends. Our bill, again, has been endorsed by 121 organizations, and it has 65 co-sponsors and counting. It is now an honor to bring before you someone who knows that this is not an issue for one type of person or one faith. This is an issue for all of humanity. She knows in a time of great political divide that we have to find common ground in our humanity to vote to restore funding to Gaza's primary humanitarian organization.